Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit in current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And then remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Hey, we woke up this morning. That's a good day, right? National Detroit Style Pizza Day. Now, I've heard of Chicago style pizza. I've heard of New York style pizza. So I had to look up and see what is Detroit style pizza. And it just kind of fits in. You have to make the pizza in a rectangular metal pan, maybe even cast iron, kind of going along with the theme of the auto industry. I don't know about the square part because I think they got rid of square cars about 30 or 40 years ago, maybe 50 years ago. Of course, then again, Tesla's here. So if you look at the Cybertruck, is that an ugly looking vehicle? I mean, and you know, we are in Southern California, so there's a lot of them around. I think I must, just between my house and the studio, it's only about 3-4 miles. And I must drive by maybe a half a dozen Cybertrucks. They're ugly. I mean, there's nothing, I don't think anybody buys a Cybertruck because of its sleek lines, right? I mean, are there any sleek lines?
You know better than that.
So, but it's a deep dish type of a pizza. You know something? I like pizza. It doesn't like my diet. As I've now hit 70 pounds lost, 70, not too shabby for a few months. You know, if you want to know how to do it, rsrlinks.com/shot, rsrlinks.com/shot. That's how I've done it. So, National Detroit Style Pizza Day. And also another item not good for my diet, Pecan Sandies Day. And again, I had to look this one up because when I hear Sandies, I just kind of think of the beach. You got to go down to the sand. And, you know, so Josh had to help me out on this one. Looks like a messy cookie with pecans. Right, what else? I don't know if it's an oatmeal cookie or what. It just looks like flour. I don't know. You got to really look at it to see. Anybody eat pecan Sandies? Is it just maybe the pecan industry paid the National Day Registry some money to get this on there? But it is considered by some, I guess, an American food holiday observed annually and offers bakers and cookie lovers a chance to enjoy a classic cookie. Okay, I guess grandma supposedly used to make them. One of my grandmothers was a great baker. The other one, I'm not sure I ever saw her cook a thing. My grandfather cooked in that house. Okay, let's move along. Let's see what the markets are doing. The Dow Jones Industrial. Maybe I should refresh this because the last time I did it, they gave me some bad information on this. Of course, then again, I go to Market Watch. So are we really looking for extraordinary information on Market Watch? But let's take a look. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 15 points. The S&P 500 up 13.62. The NASDAQ is up 59. And surprisingly, and I will say that,
Surprise.
oil's down 6 cents a barrel, 73.78 a barrel. After the bombings on Friday night, oil was up at about $77 a barrel, 73.75. The big concern here is, will Iran try and create havoc in the Strait of Hormuz? And I'm going to suggest, even for Iran, and they're not, well, the government, people are good people. I got some real good friends from Iran. But the government, you got to wonder sometimes, are they how many times are they going to shoot themselves in the foot? So if they tried to mine the strait, 21 miles across the strait, if they tried to cause havoc there, how is their oil going to get through? And they definitely need China. China gets their oil from Iran. If Iran can't get their oil through the strait, 26% of the world's oil comes through the strait. So apparently the market is not seeing a problem there because oil's now down 7 cents a barrel. Hey, if you're in California, don't forget, on the 30th, you better go fill your car up with gasoline because we've got a new gas tax coming into place in the 1st of July. Another 60 some cents a gallon in taxes. Oh, I think they call it fees this time. Taxes and fees. It's our cap and trade issue. $3.22 a gallon is the national average here in California, $4.66. So we'll see if on the 1st we jump right away. It'll probably take a few days till we're over $5 a gallon for gasoline. And I think probably Washington, Oregon, and Hawaii are probably the only other states in the union that are over $5. Josh out there is still in the top 10 in the highest prices. What about $3.40 a gallon, Josh? $3.50? Okay, so they're over $1 a gallon cheaper than we are here in California, and they're still in the top 10. Give you an idea, $2.73 a gallon is the cheapest price for gasoline. I'm guessing, it's in Mississippi, $2.73 a gallon. Texas, $2.85 a gallon, but you get humidity and all that stuff when you go to Texas, so I'm not sure I want to be going to Texas for gasoline. There's a lot going on, though, because we're watching, and I hear all these folks talking about the concept of, why should I buy a house when the prices are too high? Well, last Wednesday, I guess Thursday was a holiday. Wednesday, Jerome Powell came out and gave us a sorry song about why they're not improving interest rates. We're about a point too high right now in interest rates, a point too restrictive. When you look at where the discount rate should be about, is based on all news and all accounts, should be about 1% above the inflation rate. Well, right now we're sitting there at about 2% above the inflation rate. Jerome Powell's having trouble understanding that it is causing some problems in the marketplace and that the economy is weakening. Don't know why Jerome Powell won't do anything other than the fact he hates Trump, right? And, he can say all he wants that he doesn't, but his actions, it's just like with Trump. Don't listen to what he says. Look at what he does. Why did Powell lower interest rates? Because we needed them in October by a 0.5 point. And then now he does nothing because the economy is so much stronger than it was. Well, look at our friend Danielle DiMartino Booth. Her comments this morning. Powell used this word solid 11 times during his press conference, reinforcing a steady as she goes stance. Philadelphia's Fed's June manufacturing survey showed negative scores for future new orders, business conditions, shipments, and CapEx. Does that sound solid, Jerome?
Such an idiot.
Delivery times had a high Z-score of 2.45, indicating supply chain uncertainty amid tariffs and global tensions. June's current employment gauge collapsed by a negative 26.6 points. Negative 26.3 points. Biggest drop on record, excluding pandemic shutdowns. Okay. Manufacturing payrolls have declined from a February 2023 peak of 12.9 million to 12.76 million in May. Conference Board's leading economic index deteriorated by a negative 5.2%, 6-month annualized, triggering a recession signal. GEP, Global Supply Chain Volatility Index, showed continued underutilization globally, with all regions contracting and Asia's slackiest since December 2023. Now, here's the issue that Jerome doesn't want to talk about. He keeps saying that they're worried about what's going to happen with the tariffs. Okay, Jerome, nothing. I'll tell you why nothing. Because businesses understand. Do you think as soon as, in February and March, businesses started taking into account what they thought tariffs might be like? April, on Freedom Day, according to the president, he starts announcing what the tariffs are. Tariffs are only going to get better from there. So the business has already put that into their forecast. They put that in there. They try and put all these numbers in there and they account for it. So it's not going to happen down the road when tariffs change. They've already put it in there. Give you a perfect example. How many people remember when there used to be all these class action lawsuits, well, against everything, but you have a class action lawsuits against Roundup or a class action lawsuit against cigarette makers. As soon as there's a class action lawsuit, the company takes a charge for what they think their exposure is going to be to the class action lawsuit. The stock takes a drop because they've got a charge on their balance sheet. Now, when the class action lawsuit settles, it's generally a settlement for less than what they originally, the worst case scenario. That's why it's a settlement. And all of a sudden, the stock price increases. Why? Because now they're recapturing what they had already thought they might lose. So it goes into profit. Well, that's what's going to happen with tariffs right now. Worst case scenario, already built in. If it stays there, no change. If the tariffs are less than worst case scenario, more profit for businesses. Will they reduce their prices? Probably not. But they're not going to increase them any further. That's what Jerome doesn't want to look at. That's what Jerome doesn't want to tell us about. That's why Jerome is just being political. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, 3 reasons to buy a home this summer, protecting your kids from identity theft and building their financial future, what you really need to know about condo insurance, and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564. Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual lock rates, with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They do not tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They only tell us the number. You need to put in your mortgage calculator to find out exactly what the principal and interest payments will be. Let's take a look. Oh, you don't have a mortgage calculator? Shame on you. It's free. rsrlinks.com/mobile app. rsrlinks.com/mobile app. Let's take a look and see what the rates did Friday. Conventional 30-year fixed down 6.797. Jumbo 30-year fixed 6.874. That was down. FHA 30-year fixed 6.656. That was up. VA 30-year fixed 6.433. That was up. USDA 30-year fixed 6.491. That was up. Want to know what we're thinking about the markets? Well, right now you can find out because we're looking at the markets for today. The S&P 500 is up 10.67. We're looking at the 10-year Treasury. We're looking at the yield on the 10-year Treasury is down 8 basis points, 4.30. And the bond price is up 20 basis points, 101.29. Remember, when the bond goes up, the rates go down or the yield goes down. So we're looking pretty good right there. And it all has to do with a bit of uncertainty. I'm going to tell you from a technical standpoint where we are right now hitting a point of resistance on that 10-year Treasury. And it's at 90. I'm sorry, on the 30-year mortgage, 99.46, right at that level of resistance at the 200-day moving average. Generally, the 200-day moving average takes some sort of economic data to get through that. It's not usually a real easy one. But as you know, the United States launched massive strikes against 3 Iranian nuclear facilities. Major escalation of the ongoing conflict in the Middle East will need to be on the lookout for Iran's response, which could include closing that Strait of Hormuz, which I talked about earlier, where 20%, it's actually closer to 26% of the world's oil trade flows. Existing home sales rose 0.8% in May to 4.03 million unit annualized pace, which is a little better than expected. Year over year, sales are down 0.7%. Sales are well below where they would normally be at this time of year, which means there is a lot of pent-up demand that continues to grow. A drop in rates would likely result in a big surge in purchases. The median home price rose 2.1% month over month and 1.3% from last year to $422,800. Inventory rose 6.2% from April to 20.3% year over year, ending the month with 1.54 million units for sale. Putting together the pace of sales and inventory, there's a 4.6 month supply of homes, which was higher than 4.4 months in April. Homes remained on the market for 27 days, down from 29 days in April and 36 days in March. 28% of homes sold above the list price, which was down from 30% last year. First-time home buyers made up 30% of transactions, down from 34% in April, 31% in May of last year. Cash buyers accounted for 27%, while investors made up 17%. This week, we're watching Case-Shiller Home Price Index and FHFA House Price Index comes out tomorrow. Wednesday, we're going to get new home sales. Thursday, durable goods and initial jobless claims, and the GDP, the final reading for the first quarter. Remember, they give us one reading, it's wrong. They give us a second reading to adjust what they did wrong, because that's wrong also. And then they give us a third reading. They call that the final reading. We're going to also get pending home sales on Thursday. And Friday, we're going to get a big one. That's the personal consumption expenditures report. We're going to have all of that data coming out this week. And some of that will even be market moving. Now, again, all the data that comes out is not always market moving. But as I look at the week, what's going to be the important stuff? Well, we already got the stuff for today, so we're not going to go into that. We're going to look at FHFA home prices. Why is that important when we got median home prices today? Median tells us about the mix of homes selling. When you see the median prices moving, it's telling us maybe we're having more of the cheaper homes sold or more of higher price homes sold, because median's telling us exactly half the homes sold for more than that and exactly half sold for less than that. When we look at the FHFA, that's the Federal Home Finance Agency, that's telling us the loans with conforming homes with conforming loans. What did they do? And that's giving us a better indication of pricing as opposed to the median. Case-Shiller comes out tomorrow as well, but that's telling us even the cash sales and the jumbo loans. So we're watching all of that. We are going to get a consumer confidence number tomorrow, and Jerome Powell is going to be speaking tomorrow as well.
Such an idiot.
So when he gives his testimony, you never know. Again, whenever they say testimony, that means he's speaking in front of Congress somewhere. He'll get to speak maybe 10 or 15% of the time. And whether it's the House or the Senate, they get to grandstand the rest of the time. Just a crazy thing. And again, Wednesday, he testifies for the other chamber of Congress, and he'll give the same malarkey. We're going to also see the 5-year note auction will come out on Wednesday. We talked about that. Jobless claims is a biggie on Thursday, and we'll see what happens. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We're going to talk when we come back. We're going to be talking about reasons to buy a home this summer. And I'm going to tell you right now, right here, something, you've got to be looking at our buyer's guides. We give them to you for free. 2 of them we have out all the time. And I think we're probably getting ready. I don't know. We'll have to look, Josh, and see. I think the summer ones are probably just about ready. Take a look at it. So that means now's your last chance to get the spring. But go to rsrlinks.com/HBG2025. rsrlinks.com/HBG2025. And you can get a hold of our annual buyer's guide. And then you're going to go and get the update. That comes out at rsrlinks.com/HBG. So you get both of those guides. They help you get ready for buying a new house. You have a lot of things to look at, and we want to make sure that you've got all the information. Now, you also want to know, because the vast majority of the people that listen to Ron Siegel Radio have this desire to have a roof over their head. It's just kind of something we get used to. So if you're thinking about buying a house, take a look at our market report and see what's going on in the market you're looking for at. rsrlinks.com/market report. rsrlinks.com/market report. You can get a hold of that report and look up the zip code you're wanting to move to. It'll tell you what's happening. Are prices going up? Prices going down? Are there more rate increases or price increases or decreases? What's happening in that specific market? Because when we give you a lot of data, a lot of the data we give is national data. You need local data. So get that market report. And the first thing you have to do is get the mobile app. rsrlinks.com/mobile app. rsrlinks.com/mobile app. So all of those things are totally free. They cost nothing. And if you're still trying to decide, should I buy a house or not? Maybe you want to look at our rent versus own analysis. rsrlinks.com/RVO. rsrlinks.com/RVO. That's going to give you a rent versus own analysis, and we can kind of figure things out for you right there. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, 3 reasons to buy a home this summer, and we're going to also talk about what you really need to know about condo insurance. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564. Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less? All without having to spend more each month than you spend right now. Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference in the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. 3 reasons to buy a home this summer. Are you thinking about buying a home but not sure if now's the right time? A lot of people are waiting and wondering what the market's going to do next. But here's something only the savviest buyers realize. This summer might actually be the best time to buy in years. Here are 3 big reasons why. You have more negotiating power after several years of sellers having all the leverage. Things are starting to shift. Check out the graph that we're showing on ronsiegelradio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk, AM 1490, FM 98.1 video feed. It uses data from Redfin to show that right now there are more sellers active in the market than there are buyers. And nice chart there. Whoa, look at that. Buyers 1.9 million. Sellers 1.9 million. Buyers 1.4. Take a look at what happened back in 2021 through roughly 2023. In that time period, there were far more buyers, the blue line, looking to buy than homes for sale, the green line. That's what drove the intense competition, bidding wars, and the exponential price growth the market saw back then. Now, the market has shifted and buyers are regaining their negotiating power as a result. With more sellers than buyers, sellers may be more willing to pay for repairs, cover some of your closing costs, or lower their asking price. The return of this kind of normal balance is a sign of a much healthier, more sustainable market, as Lawrence Yoon, chief economist of the National Association of Realtors, NAR, explains, quote, with housing inventory levels reaching 5-year highs, the home buyers in nearly every region of the country are in a better position to negotiate more favorable terms, unquote. And just in case you're worried there are too many homes on the market, here's what you should know. Overall inventory is still lower than normal, so you don't have to worry about a nationwide oversupply or a crash. Number 2, you have more choices. The number of homes for sale has improved a lot. Based on the latest data from Realtor.com, more homes were listed this May than in May 2024 or May 2023. Another graph is on your screen. And again, if you're listening on ABC News and Talk, AM 1490 or FM 98.1 video feed, you can find all of this stuff on our YouTube channel or on our any of our social channels, ronsiegelradio.tv. Most active May for new listings in 3 years. More homes for sale means more choices. There's a good chance your perfect match just hit the market, or it will soon. So it's a great time to explore what's out there. As Jake Krimmel, economist at Realtor.com, says, quote, with more fresh inventory hitting the market, buyers have better opportunities to find a home that fits their needs, unquote. Number 3, you may see more flexibility on price. With more homes for sale, They're not selling at the same frenzied pace they were just a few years ago. Since homes are taking more time to sell, some sellers are choosing to lower their asking price to draw buyers back in or speed up the process, and that's to be expected. According to Realtor.com, 19.1% of listings had a price cut this May. Again, there's a chart showing that. That's the fifth straight month where more sellers have reduced their price. And as of May, the volume of price cuts is back to normal levels. This is yet another sign of the return to a more balanced market. While you shouldn't expect a big discount, you may find sellers are a bit more flexible right now. As a recent article from The Street says, quote, although sellers have had the upper hand in the housing market over the past few years, houses are staying on the market for longer, shifting negotiating power back to home buyers, unquote. Just remember, most sellers are still adjusting their prices, just the ones who overpriced to start with. I'm sorry, most sellers are not adjusting their prices, just the ones who overpriced to start with. So this isn't a sign of a crash, it's a sign of some sellers having outdated expectations in a shifting market. Bottom line, this summer brings a powerful combo for buyers, more homes to choose from, less competition, and sellers are being more flexible on pricing. If you're ready to make a move, let's connect. What would finding the right home this summer mean for your next chapter? Remember, I've got contacts and I've got a scouting report of nearly every agent in the country. Give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I'm happy to put you in touch with a great real estate agent anywhere within the sound of my voice. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by gethomeselect.com, gethomeselect.com. What you really need to know about condo insurance. Ron Siegel here, and welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio, where we help families build wealth through better debt management and smart financial strategies. Today's topic, not glamorous, it's not trending, but it could save you thousands or even your entire nest egg. We're talking about condo insurance. Now, before you change the dial, hang tight. This is one of those topics where what you don't know can absolutely hurt you. And I see it all the time. Let's rewind a bit. When you own a home, single family detached, you're responsible for the whole thing: roof, yard, driveway, foundation, everything. With a condo, you're buying the airspace inside your unit. Everything else, the walls, roof, stairwell, even the pipes inside those walls are commonly owned and maintained by your homeowners association or HOA. Now, that HOA usually carries a master insurance policy. Most people assume this means they're fully covered, but guess what? That's rarely the case. Tip number one, understand the master policy. The master policy typically only covers common areas and structural parts of the building, but the level of protection inside your unit depends on what kind of policy the HOA carries. There are three types of policies. Number one is bare walls. Covers nothing inside your unit. That means the drywall in. That's all on you. Single entity, a bit better. It covers basic original fixtures. Think builder grade cabinets, floors, and countertops, but not any updates. Number three, all in, the most comprehensive. It may cover everything original and any upgrades made by you or a previous owner. Most people don't know what their HOA has. That's a problem. You can't tailor your own insurance policy if you don't understand where the gaps are. Step one, request a copy of your HOA's master policy and review it. Or better yet, send it to me so we can have one of the insurance agents that are part of Ron Siegel Radio community and review it and walk you through it. And that's top tip two. Don't ignore the deductible. Here's something condo owners rarely think about. The master policy comes with a deductible. Sometimes it's $5,000, sometimes $25,000, sometimes $100,000. Now here's the kicker. If the HOA files a claim, that deductible is split among the unit owners. This is called loss assessment. So picture this: your neighbor's washing machine overflows, damages the hallway carpet, and the HOA files a claim. The master policy kicks in, sure, but the deductible, that gets passed around like a collection plate. You could be on the hook for thousands, even if the issue had nothing to do with you. That's why loss assessment coverage on your personal condo insurance is not optional, it's essential. Tip 3, fill the gaps intelligently. You've got to protect what's actually yours inside your condo. Let's list it. Your appliances, your flooring, your custom cabinets, your personal belongings, your liability if someone slips and falls in your unit, your temporary living expenses if your place is uninhabitable. If you don't have enough coverage for these, the HOA's policy won't help you. And one more thing, make sure your coverage is based on replacement cost, not depreciated cash value. If your $1,500 TV gets fried in a power surge, do you want the $1,500 it takes to replace it or the $300 it's worth today? That is what I call functional coverage. It's not about overinsuring. It's about avoiding gaps that could wreck your finances. Tip number 4, think like a strategist, not a shopper. This is about fear. This is not about fear. It's about financial strategy. Your condo insurance should be a part of a bigger picture. If you've built up equity or plan to tap into your home value via a HELOC, home select loan, or two-step debt strategy, then gaps in your coverage become a direct threat to your wealth. Once had a client, let's call her Janet, who thought her HOA had fully protected. A pipe burst behind her kitchen wall. The HOA said, "Sorry, that's your section of pipe." Her insurance didn't cover water damage to drywall or flooring. $18,000 out of pocket. Fortunately, she had enough savings. Most don't. That's why, as a certified liability advisor, I don't just look at policies. I look at exposure. I help clients understand how their condo insurance affects their overall financial plan, how to layer coverage properly without overspending, how to protect their equity and their cash value, because what you don't know can hurt you, but what you do know and act on can protect everything you've worked hard for. Want to see how your current policy stands up? Well, give us a call at 800-306-1990. Want to see how your liabilities are standing up? 30-second liability checkup at rsrlinks.com/Sora. rsrlinks.com/Sora. No pressure, no hard credit pulls, just clarity. Go to ronsiegel.radio.com. Send me a message. I'll review the setup personally. No strings attached, or I'll have one of the household board of directors help with it as well. I am your certified liability advisor. I help families build wealth through strategic debt management. You've worked hard to own a home, even a piece of one. Let's make sure a broken pipe or a shared claim doesn't cost you that dream. Again, Ron Siegel here, certified liability advisor. I help families build wealth through strategic debt management and risk management. You don't need to overpay, but you absolutely can't afford to be underinformed. Until next time, be safe, be smart, and borrow smart. That is the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by GetHomeSelect.com, GetHomeSelect.com. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, why homeownership is going to be worth it, protecting your kids from identity theft and building their financial future, and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free, protecting your kids from identity theft and building their financial future. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, where we talk about your home, your bank account, and your future. I am Ron Siegel, and today we're diving into a topic that's not just relevant, it's urgent. Let me ask you something. If someone stole your child's identity today, how long would it take you to find out? Most parents wouldn't know until years later when their child applies for a student loan, gets denied for a car lease, or worse, receives a collection notice on a credit card they never opened. Kids are prime targets for identity theft. Why? Because their credit history is a clean slate and most parents aren't monitoring it. Let's break this down. What makes kids so vulnerable to identity theft? First, no debt history is a gold mine for a thief. A child's social security number can be used to open credit cards, rent apartments, even file tax returns, and the fraud can go undetected for years. Second, there's limited oversight. Most parents don't think to pull a credit report for a 10-year-old. But guess what? That's exactly what makes them attractive targets. Third, personal data is floating around in places you wouldn't expect. Schools, pediatricians, sports leagues, and social media profiles. All it takes is one breach. So here's what you can do starting today to protect your kids. Step 1, educate your children. Teach them early not to share personal details online. Yes, even things like birthdays and addresses. Predators and scammers love social media breadcrumbs. Step 2, monitor their credit. You can check any activity under their name by going to annualcreditreport.com. Annualcreditreport.com. If you see anything that shouldn't be there, hit the brakes and investigate. Step 3, be stingy with social security numbers. Only give out your child's social security number when it's absolutely necessary, and make sure whoever gets it is storing it securely. Is there any logical reason why a doctor needs a social security number? No. Step 4, go digital and physical. Use strong passwords, enable two-factor authentication, and shred any document that contains personal info. Don't just toss it in the recycle bin. Now let's pivot, because while we're protecting our kids, we can also empower them financially. How to start building your child's credit responsibly. Yes, it's possible and smart to start early. Some credit card companies allow you to add your child as an authorized user as young as 13. You're not giving them a platinum card and a Tesla. You're simply giving them a piggyback ride on your responsible payment history. Treat that history if you pay your bills on time, can begin establishing their credit profile before they're even eligible for their own card. This is a real head start. When they turn 18, your child could already have a strong FICO score, setting them up for better loan rates, insurance premiums, and even job applications. Use this as a teaching moment about budgeting. Show them how to read a statement and explain why a minimum payments aren't a winning strategy. And yes, check their credit activity together. Let them see how this works. Kids understand more than we give them credit for, especially when it's tied to their future. Our friends over at Blue Water Credit, they've seen firsthand how damaging identity theft can be. But they've also helped families recover, with some clients receiving over $10,000 in compensation from credit report violations. Bottom line, don't wait until something goes wrong. Protect your child's identity and start laying the foundation for their financial future now. If you want help checking your credit, freezing a minor's credit, or starting that credit building journey, visit our website, rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free, or better yet, reach out to me directly and I'll get you connected with the right people, because this isn't just about fraud prevention. It's about empowerment. It's about legacy. And it's about giving our kids a chance to start ahead, not behind. I'm Ron Siegel. You've been listening to Ron Siegel Radio, where we help you build wealth, reduce stress, and be a smarter consumer. As a certified liability advisor, I help families build wealth through strategic debt management. If you'd like to run a 30-second liability checkup or get a soft credit pull without any risk to your score, visit rsrlinks.com/Sora, rsrlinks.com/Sora, SORA. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and remember, you're not just building credit, you're building confidence. That is the Your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. Josh, I lost my timer here. Do we have time for a real-time real estate? A little bit of time. Okay, so we're going to try and do this real quick. Real-time real estate brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Why home ownership is going to be worth it. Life can feel a bit unpredictable these days. That's what's happening with inflation, the economy, the housing market. But in the middle of all uncertainty, there's one thing a lot of people still crave: a place to call their own. Because when everything else feels up in the air, home can be the thing that grounds you. As experts at 1000 Watt put it, quote, homeownership isn't primarily financial anymore. Across all demographics, emotional and lifestyle factors consistently outrank wealth building as motivators, unquote. Here's what owning a home can mean for you, especially right now. Freedom to make it yours. When you're a homeowner, you don't need to ask permission to paint a wall, hang a gallery of your favorite art, or redo the floors. You have the freedom to create a space that reflects who you are, all the way from the light fixtures to the paint colors. Pro tip, just be mindful about exterior changes. If you buy a home in a community that has a homeowners association, an HOA, there may be some approvals you'd need to get for select outdoor changes. More privacy, more peace. Owning your home can give you a sense of peace that you didn't even realize you were missing. It's a comfortable place where you feel secure and can relax, enjoy your privacy, and unwind after a long day. Room to grow. Whether it's starting a family, setting up a home office for your new career, or finally building that home gym in the garage, you can hit your fitness goals. Owning gives you the space to live life on your terms. A stronger sense of community. When you own, you're not just passing through, you're putting down roots. That often leads to stronger ties with your community, more connection to your neighborhood, and a deeper feeling of belonging where you live. That's very different from the temporary nature of renting. A feeling of accomplishment. There's something powerful about getting the keys and walking into your own front door for the first time. It's more than pride. It's personal satisfaction, a quiet, meaningful sense of, I did this. Sure, it's not always easy for first-time home buyers right now. The market today requires patience, strategy, and sometimes a little creative problem solving, but it's worth it. As Realtor.com says, quote, buying a home is a major commitment, but it's also incredibly rewarding, unquote. When you get those keys in your hand, when you realize this place is where your life gets to unfold, it clicks. The stress, the waiting, the planning, all of it led you home. Bottom line, there are a lot of things out of your control right now, but building a life in a space that's truly yours, that's still possible with the right strategy and expert help. Let's talk about how to make that happen. What would it mean for you to finally have a place to call your own? I have all the resources. All you need to do is give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We'll get you the resources. I'll get you a scouting report of any realtor in any community. Cheaper is not always better, and you certainly need that guidance. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. And as always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990 at ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time around on Ron Siegel Radio.